And welcome to today's episode of the A New Day Show. I am your host, Dynamic Daphne, and as always, it is such an honor and a privilege to be here with you for this show. Our first episode today, we will be dealing with some lessons, some powerful lessons as I have learned about them. Some powerful lessons about life changes. A lot of times we sit down and we tend to settle for what I categorize as mediocre living, and we always tend to blame somebody else. However, if we would take some time to just sit back and look and some of the things we have been doing throughout our lives, we'll find out if we just put a slight twist on these things, we will be able to modify the things we have been doing, and hence we can see that as a life lesson which we can use to change our life. It's really not rocket science. It's just that sometimes we get stuck in the ego phase of who we are, and that gets in our way. And instead of excelling, we get stuck and we are just there. And instead of rising, you keep sinking deeper and deeper in the valley. So, okay, the first lesson I would like you to think about is that the way that you think about life itself can be a problem. Because if you wake up every day and nothing is going right for you because you choose not to let something go right, it is a problem. Instead of waking up and giving thanks, be grateful, be happy that you woke up, you are already ahead of the game. Instead, you sit down and you say, oh, well, what is there to be thankful for? What am I grateful for? I can recall two people sometimes ago. And this lady said to the gentleman, let's say his name was John, and she said, good morning, John. And he said, what good about it? What's good about it? And of course I was there, and you all know that I was not going to sit by and let that slide. I said, from the mere fact all three of us are right here now, this is enough to be thankful for. I said, you woke up. I say, have you listened to the news lately? How many people went to sleep and never woke up the next day? So we are ahead of the game. We have a lot to be thankful for. And even with that being said, we got into a 15 minutes dialogue, all three of us there, because although he heard loud and clear what I was saying, he was not buying it. He said, oh, well, those are some new age trends, and, you know, that's not how I live. And I said, well, how do you live? And everything that came out of his mouth had to do with material things. If he was not having excess of whatever he chose at that time, he would think that life was not worth it for him. He wasn't looking at his health. When I asked him, when last you've been to the doctors, what medications you're on and all those things, He said, well, I don't. And I said, you don't see that as a blessing? So I was sharing that experience with you to let you know that the way that you are seeing life, the lens that you are viewing life through, can be clouded, and that can be a problem. So I want for you to examine your own life and look on what are the situations that you have placed yourself in. What's your outlook on life? Let's say you're faced with a conflict. How do you resolve that conflict? Are you just sitting and moping and whining about it, or do you go out and seek for help? Asking for help is not saying that you're weak or anything to feel inferior or humiliated about. It is showing how smart and wise you are, because you know that I cannot do this by myself. I can go out and I can ask for help. The next lessons I want for you to take into consideration is to diagnose before you prescribe. Diagnose before you prescribe. You know, that's a pet peeve for me too, because a lot of times when you go to the doctor, they say hello and they start to write the prescription before they ask you how you're doing, what's your progress or that. A lot of them are not getting into any conversation with you. They just want to write that prescription and head you on home out the door. However, in our personal lives, we need to prescribe before we need to diagnose before we prescribe. And you're probably saying, well, I'm not a doctor. But here is why I'm saying that. You sit down, you dissect your life, see what's going on in there. Come to a realization of where you are right now. This way, when you sit with a mentor, a teacher, or a coach, or just a confidant, once you sit with them, you have already diagnosed what your situation is. You can share with them what you have noticed. You can have them share with you what they have noticed. And from there, then you prescribe what is needed. All right? There are a lot of people that are turning up to professionals seeking for help, and they really don't know what it is they need help for. So nothing to be ashamed of. You need to know you intimately, inside out. Know what's happening in your life, so that when someone recommend to you something that you need to do or an action that you need to take, you can say, you know something, based on what I have found in my own assessment with the issues that's taking place with me, I really don't think that's the best choice for me. What about X, Y, Z? However, if you had not done your diagnosis for yourself, you would end up just saying thank you, move on to apply what they suggest without really knowing the root cause of what is taking place in your life. The important thing is that we know ourselves much better than anyone else knows us. It's very important. You must know who you are, what ticks you, what gets your adrenaline pumping. What is it? Know yourself. There are things about myself I love, and there are things about myself I'm still working on and fixing. However, I have to face these things. We all need to face the angels in our lives, and we must face the demons in our lives as well. Until we can afford to face the demons in our lives, we are not going to be able to make any changes whatsoever in our lives. Each and every one of us, we have the tools in our hands. We have the tools in our hands that we need to change our lives. Regardless of what professionals you're working with, you need to take that first step. You can look on your life as a bicycle, and when you're going through the issues or the circumstances that you're encountering right now, you can look at that phase of your life as if you're learning to ride a bicycle with training wheels. And know that you're going to fall down a couple of times, but you must get up and brush yourself off in order to move to the next phase. Right? So those are the two first lessons: to view the way you are seeing life, diagnose before you prescribe. I want to share one of my favorite quotes with you. And I think it's Pascal who says, no, this one is not by Pascal. Anyway, I don't remember who it was, but anyhow, it says, you are what you repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. So if you decide, I'm sick and tired of what's going on, I'm going to make a difference. You keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it a little at a time. And then, all of a sudden, things start to happen in your life. It's not as difficult as you thought it would have been. And you say, oh my heavens, what took me so long? Why did I hold myself back? But even when you came to that realization that you have held yourself back over a period, don't sit there and whine about it. You know, a lot of times when I find that out, I just smile and I just move on and said, I am happy and excited that I make the move now. The next lesson I want you to look at is seeing is being. Seeing is being. If you speak with people who live their life heavily on meditation and visualization, they will tell you everything that happens in their life, they could see it before it happened. Before I came into the studio today, I was speaking with one of my clients, and she was sharing something about a friend, and she shared that there was something happening in the lady's life now, and she made a decision that she wanted to manifest some money to take action in doing something. And I was listening to the conversation on the phone, but when she said it to me, I found my mouth went like. And the reason my mouth fell open was because about 6 months ago, I had met this woman. And the woman she's now describing to me has transformed her life and decided that what was going on in her life prior, she was no longer going to tolerate that. And for that reason, she has made some drastic change and transformation. That can be your story too. None of us are special. The universe is extremely generous to each and every one of us. However, we must make the decision to take action. So, seeing is being. If you can see it, you can be it. Whatever your it is. But you must take this very important lesson to heart, that if I can see it, I can be it. Change comes to each and every one of you. You don't have to be well educated, you don't have to be prominent in your area. You just need to have a desire that I want to change my life. And once you get to that determination, things just start to snowball for you. It's like hail falling down. Quickly you see one drop of hail, and before you know it, you're here on the rooftop. Millions of hail that is coming down. So that I want you to retain in your mind another very important lesson, that seeing is being. Each and every one of us who have continuously been working on our lives and doing the inside work, if you ask us, we will tell you that nothing happened until we adopted a paradigm shift. And some of us had to go 100 degrees paradigm. Some people had to go 20, 35, 40. But whatever it is, claim yours and just harness that, because you're going to find out that it is well worth it. Lesson number 4. Adopt a win-win attitude. No matter how many times you have been knocked down, adopt a win-win attitude. If you can see yourself a winner, then you are in alignment with what the universe wants for you, because the universe already know that you are a somebody. You are the child of the Most High King. So, who are you to be settling for less than when you are born into royalty? So, you are already a winner. I don't even concern myself about what your life looks like right this minute as you listen to this episode. I want you to adopt the attitude that I am a winner. It doesn't matter what has happened in years gone by. Right now, today, I am a winner. And moving forward, I am a winner. Once you adopt a win-win attitude, you realize that you begin to attract winners to you. Likes attract likes. What they say, oil seeks its own level. When you mix oil and water, what happened? The oil rises to the top and the water is at the bottom. So I want you to continue to view your life as the oil. View your life as the oil, and always maintain that you are a winner. Live in a win-win mode. It doesn't matter how many times you have been knocked down. I want you to get up, stumble, get your balance, brush yourself off and say, I am a winner. I am a winner, and nothing is going to take away that mindset from me. You find out, I know in my personal life, I have found out that for as many times as I have been knocked down, each time I rise again, the legs are more solid. I'm standing much firmer. My feet are on solid ground. It's not moving. It's not quicksand under my feet. It's solid ground. And you need to find your solid ground where you are standing on. The next lesson I want for you to see and adopt into your life is your listening skill. There's a lot of us who use our mouths a lot, and we don't listen. We are quick to give advice and to say this and to say that. But I want for you to adopt the principle of empathetic listening. Always seek to understand what's going on. Ask questions, open-ended questions that will help you to learn more. Yesterday, I received an email from a woman, and in the email she says, by EOD, you will know. And I was not embarrassed to reply to the email to ask her what EOD means. And it happens in our lives all the time that we use a lot of acronyms and we think that people are accustomed. And she laughed and she replied and she says, it's corporate talk for the end of the day. And I said to her back in the reply email that I am so glad that at my old age, I'm still learning something new. What if I had just left it at that and not asked? I would not have added something to my vocabulary. Okay? So if something comes across you that you're not familiar with, ask questions. This is how we learn new things, new words, new things that are happening around us. There's absolutely no one out there that knows everything. And that is the reason why it is important that we adopt powerful life lessons that will keep us in school. And I do not mean a physical classroom. I want you to use each day as you are moving in life's journey. I want you to see that as a classroom. And I want you to learn as much as you can. There's another quote I want to share with you. And it says, what's behind you and what's before you is minor comparing to what is inside of you. Inside of us lies the greatest potential that we have yet to grasp. There is so much potential in you and I. Each and every day when we wake up, we can embark on something new. However, for us to embark on it, we need to learn the valuable lessons of life. So I want to just run over my list that I shared with you today. And these are the list for learning powerful lessons for life change. The way you see life can be a problem, so be adaptable to the way you view life. Diagnose before you prescribe what's going in your life, whether you're going to do that yourself or you're seeking help. Seeing is being. Paradigm shifts are instantaneous, so we needs to be adaptable. Number 3, adopt a win-win attitude. And number 4, that was number 4. Number 5, be an empathetic listener. Seek always to understand what's going on around you. Ask questions, be adaptable for change. Set your goal. Each day, I want to learn 2 new lessons. And as you learn the lessons, I want for you to jot them down. And occasionally, you can go back and revisit them. What I'm sharing with you today came from my list. The list of things that I have learned over the years. And I'm still learning. So we all need to create a toolbox that we put all of the nuggets that life tossed us. We'll find out that sometimes we can use those nuggets right away. However, there are times when we'll need to put them on the shelf or put them in a drawer, keep them safe, keep them polished, fine-tune them, and know that there's some time we're going to need them and we go in and pull them out. Each experience that you encounter in your life is extremely valuable. A lot of times we are stuck in the area of no land because we are not adaptable to change. So be open, be receptive, get up when you are knocked down, identify the lessons, be grateful for the lessons. Know that life is a journey and it's like a tornado. You know, sometimes the winds are going to knock us down. But you know, for many times you look on the news, you see that one house that is standing and everything else around it is flattened to the ground. However, that house is standing. And once we learn all of our life lessons, that's going to be us standing at the end when all the challenges of life has knocked us down and we keep coming back. Once we have learned the valuable lessons in life, we begin to build our resilience IQ, and we have a stamina and a bounce back ability that no one can ever challenge. I'm here to tell you, because what I'm sharing with you today came directly from my life. So you go out there, I want you to create your own list of powerful life lessons that you can use to change your life. What they say it's not over until the fat woman sings. So I tell you, it's not over for you. So stop, you get busy, keep doing, because there's going to be a long time before the fat woman sings. So go out there, learn all the lessons you can, create your story, share your story, go out there, make a difference in people's lives. Don't be humiliated to share your journey, because you know something? Our vulnerability is what draws people to us. So again, I want to thank you for listening to this segment. And if you have not yet done so, I want you to visit my website, DaphneClarke-HudsonEmpowers.com. You have some neat gifts there that you can get. And hey, while you are at that, why don't you send a couple of friends there as well? Check me out on Twitter, Facebook.com, Dynamic Daphne, LinkedIn, and all of the social media. I am everywhere because I can't afford to lose out anywhere. So, from my heart to your heart, I just want to send you a lot of love and a lot of blessing.